blueberry.
Not inside. On top. And then granola on the bottom. Pour nicest swirl of. What did you say?
You said 4 hours later. That's crazy. He's 55, guys. Excuse me.
53. My name is Croix. I am from California, repping University of Oregon. I'm a defender for the Kansas City Current, really fast. Should I trust you with a knife?
Good morning, America. Welcome back to Croix's Corner. On this segment, we will be making an acai bowl.
You should just say good morning, Kansas City.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome back to Croix's Corner. On this segment, we
A little too much emphasis on Kansas. You said it like you're from California.
I am.
Okay, but you live here.
I have a knife.
Okay.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome back to Croix's Corner. And on this episode, we will be making acai bowls with...
Do I say who I am?
Yes.
Oh, okay. My name is Chris Goode. I'm the very proud founder of Ruby Jeans Juicery in Kansas City. Not Kansas City.
What are we doing today?
We're making acai bowls with Croix at 30th and Troost. We're super excited to be here. Croix is going to slice all of the fruits to get ready to top the bowl that we're preparing. Acai is a Brazilian berry, and they dry them, freeze them, and send them to Kansas City.
In California.
Well, we're in Kansas City. We're not talking about California. But no, in our acai bowls, we blend them with strawberries, pineapples, bananas, a little pinch of agave, obviously the acai berry, blend them up and get to a nice sherbet kind of consistency, not too runny, not too chunky. And then the bottom layer of the bowl is our house-made granola. We pour in the acai mixture. We've got another layer of our house-made granola, and then we line the top with blueberries, strawberries, banana, a little more sprinkle of granola for those of us that like it, a little dash of coconut, really easy on the coconut, a little drizzle of agave. Peace out.
Tell me a little bit about Troost and the history behind your wonderful store.
So are we going serious now? Here we are, 30th and Troost. It's home. I went to daycare across the street many years ago. This building, the first time I walked into it, it was the day-old bread store. So you could come in here and get like, I think when I was talking to you on the porch, we can get honey buns and expiring bread and stuff like that, you know, on the cheap. So this was the day-old bread store. When I first got introduced to it as an adult, I got introduced to this building. It was a commissary kitchen. And so we first started making our cold pressed juice in the back in this tiny little 100 square feet area. We had a refrigerator, a table, a little shelf, and that's it, and our juicer. And we started making cold pressed juice here. And then I got the opportunity, they approached me and said, hey, what do you think about doing a location in this building? And I honestly didn't think it was a good idea. Because, you know, being from here, knowing, you know, what Troost is, what the East Side is, it wasn't something that, you know, it didn't immediately click. But then I felt bad, you know, for questioning, because it's like, well, shoot, like if I don't do that, then it won't happen, you know, and this is literally why we exist. And it's home, and it's a place where my family frequented it. And so I leaned in, and 6 years ago? Well, it'll be 6 years in November. We opened our location here at 30th and Troost.
Wow, so you're like a Kansas City superhero.
I don't know about that. This is the first ever healthy business on the east side of Kansas City, and still the only 100% health-focused business that has ever and still exists on the east side, which, you know, is sad that that's possible. It's 2023. But I just, you know, I love Kansas City, but even more than that, I love helping people, you know, find a pathway to their healthiest versions. Not in a sense of perfection, but just getting closer to being a healthier version of you.
No, yeah, I agree.
But I think that's enough bananas, actually.
I think you interrupted me again. Why did you decide to get into the juice business?
I actually got introduced to fresh juice in California.
Wait, like pressed juice or fresh juice? I think it's your accent.
But no, I got introduced to juice by way of a couple of friends of mine in LA. I'm just going to visit on a trip, and I get there, and, you know, I'm from Kansas City. We're, you know, country, right?
You said that.
So I get there, and they're like, hey, we're not eating today. And I'm like, well,
Whoa.
yeah, exactly. Like, what do you mean you're not eating today? Thank you, Croix, thank you. What do you mean you're not eating today? And they go on to explain they're doing this 7-day juice cleanse. All right, so you want to top it?
A little bit.
You want to add more?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Just a few.
You want to top it? So,
I don't remember exactly what you said because you were very specific.
well, let's go like blueberries, like neatly around that outer rim.
I don't know if that worked. Okay. Oh gosh, maybe together. I don't have to do the whole thing.
And they're like, we're not eating. And I'm like, okay, you guys are weird.
Californians,
like,
we don't need to eat.
They're like, what are you talking about? You're not eating. And they explained that they're doing this 7-day juice cleanse. And I really thought they were weird. I thought they were in some kind of a cult. I didn't know what they were talking about.
That's really rude.
They're only, I didn't understand it. And so they go on and explain it. I ate that day. You know, like, yep, that's on y'all. The next day, they set me down in front of a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I think that's good. Then
I'll say when it's good.
We'll go bananas. You want to hit?
That's good.
All right, cool. They set me down in front of this documentary, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and it's about this guy that, well-to-do guy who's struggling with his health, taking all his prescription medicine daily. That actually looks bad. Let's do that.
You know
over.
what you need
Let's
to do
put
is
that.
get this.
No, that's not good. That is terrible. Okay. All right, I got this part. So they set me in front of this documentary, and you know, this guy decided that, man, I got the best doctors, the best access to healthcare, and none of it's fixing me. And so he did his research, and he decided to drink fresh juice. And now his mechanism was pretty, you know, out there, but he decided to drink fresh juice for 60 days. So that's it, just juice only.
A juice cleanse.
Juice cleanse for 60 days. That's all he was consuming. And so he wasn't even looking at it from a standpoint of a juice cleanse per se, just a complete shift in lifestyle. I'm gonna just completely reset my whole life. And light on the coconut?
Very. Thank you. That was a lot. And by the way, the banana looks the exact same as mine.
No, yours it actually looked the same as, yours looked like it looks right there.
No.
You were just like,
Wow.
But long story short, by the end of this documentary, this guy had changed his life. And I wasn't paying attention in the beginning. I'm like, yo, let's go to the beach. I'm not here for this. And by the end of it, he's a different dude. And so it clicked. I'm like, man, this guy was able to change his life in 60 days. My grandmother lived 61 years, and she never had this, she died of type 2 diabetes at age 61. And she never had this, this reflection moment to say, you know what, I need to drink more water, eat less fried foods, move my body more. She literally ate soul food until it killed her. And so it created for me, you know, kind of a, like, there's something to this. And not just the idea of drinking fresh juice for 60 days, it's hard to do, but just a healthier lifestyle. And so I came home to Kansas City, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this. And so I did a 10-day juice cleanse. And first 3-4 days,
Rough.
oh my God, horrible.
Thought you were gonna starve to death?
I did not enjoy any of it, but I said, okay, I'm gonna power through this. I got to day 10, and I had this clarity, this bounce, you know. I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. And so I'm traveling for work at the time, so I started going to juice bars from coast to coast, just trying it out, just falling in love with it as a consumer. So I juice, but I could just keep going on and on.
No, yeah.
But you gotta try this before it gets too runny. It's a little awkward.
Okay.
I know you're a professional athlete, but are people like holding acai bowls for you and
Yeah,
stuff?
it's like people take me to the grocery store. You don't do that? Okay, so this bite right here has banana, acai, and granola, and the smallest flake of coconut. Okay.
Not so bad for an old guy.
No, yeah. Have you ever put peanut butter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
my mom likes that. I don't like that.
I love it. I like craisins and almond butter on it.
Raisins?
Craisins.
Raisins?
Craisins.
What is a craisin?
You don't know what a craisin is? You know what a craisin is. Everybody knows what a craisin is.
Do you know what a craisin is?
It's cranberry.
Oh. Dry?
Mm-hmm. So I forgot what city I was in, and I started thinking like, all right, man, this is not it. And I'm making really good money coming from where I come from. And so my first thing was like, damn, like, are you ungrateful? You're doing well. Like, what is it that you want? And so I started to think like, what are you passionate about? And my tattoos are about my grandma. I miss my grandma. I'm looking at my tattoos like, damn, man, I miss my grandma. So grandma. And then I had gotten into this juice culture. I started helping some family members and friends lose weight. I started kind of reinforming the way my family ate. Like, oh, we should probably stop with the fried chicken and stuff like that. And it's like, God was like, okay.
Do this.
I'm making it very plain for you. Juice, grandma, Start a juice bar in honor of your grandmother. And I had been to so many juice bars. I was taking pictures, I was getting menus, just as a consumer. I just loved it. I felt like, man, it's actually good. It's good for you. And I had, I could afford to go to them. I didn't have to make it. And I fell in love with the culture as a consumer, and I decided it's something that I wanted to do. What I recognize is the places that I would go into, being a black man, there was no like warmth.
Yes.
I was not the consumer at all.
Yeah.
And so it was just like here's your juice, here's your smoothie, peace, just a transaction. And so all this stuff started spiraling in my head, and I'm thinking like, oh man, I got these, I did this, and I've done all this market research just from an organic perspective. So I quit my job extremely fast. The first name of this business was not gonna be Ruby Jeans. I'm actually a little bit worried to tell you what it was gonna be.
Get ready.
It was, and I thought it was a hit.
Oh goodness.
Smooth and Juicy.
Smooth and Juicy sounds like Smoothie King.
No, much better. It's still better than that. Smooth and Juicy.
What was
No, think about it slowly.
Okay, please.
Smooth and Juicy.
I don't think so.
And so I told my friend Shannon, and she just busted out laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, I was serious. So I went back.
That's good though. At least she was honest.
Very honest, like brutally honest. She still talks about me for it. Like if I'm getting recognized for something or we're doing something like important, she's like, smooth and juicy, huh? But kind of went back to the drawing board several times. Stillness has always been a place where I got some of the best things that ever have come to me. And so I got still and was like, man, well, why do you want to do this? I'm like, oh, grandma, Ruby Jeans, duh. But it sounds like that now.
Yeah.
But, and so that's why juice.
Wow.
That's the whole shebang.
Can you tell me a little bit about the street Troost?
Yep, so this street is called Troost Avenue. Ever since I've been alive, way before I was born, this has always been the red line of Kansas City, segregation line. And so contracts and life insurance or real estate documents, so on and so forth, it deemed that black people, minorities, others, anybody that wasn't white or of an affluent class, they couldn't purchase real estate on this side, literally where we're standing on the west side of that street. And so this is the demarcation line of Kansas City. It's like always been this theoretical wall, between the haves and the have-nots. We obviously are from the east side, and I served on the Parks and Rec board, and I was fortunate enough to be able to change J.C. Nichols Parkway and the fountain on the plaza for a whole host of reasons. And so when I did that work, people would come to me and say, well, what about Troost? What about Troost? What about Troost? And we were tenants of this building, so we were renting this building for years. And when that conversation would come up, you know, it kind of hit me on my heart, and I started researching it. Turns out Dr. Benoist or Benoit Troost, he was the first resident physician of Kansas City, built the first hotel in Kansas City, but was also a slave owner, well documented, owned 6 people that look like you and I. And, you know, for me, as I'm serving this community, whether it's picking up trash or operating this business from here, I don't think that we should do it under the guise, the brand, the commemoration, the memorialization, the celebration of a slave owner. It's problematic, not just to me as a black man, but I think that it's not, from a city perspective, it's not something that we should, in 2023, be celebrating. Because street signs, they're powerful. They're on GPS, they're on their different maps, they're on stationaries, they're on everything. And so all the while, subconsciously, we're giving a statement to our city saying, we're okay with that. We're okay that this guy that we're memorializing, that we're celebrating with this 11-mile stretch, was a murderer and all these heinous things. And that just, it doesn't sit well with me. And so I set out on an effort to rename this avenue. And so there's a movement now, it's called Truth Over Troost. And truth, because truth is something that, I don't care what you look like, I don't care where you come from, how much money you got, truth is something that if we encounter it, if we embrace it, it's positive. Yep. It's positive. There's no 2 sets of truth. There's no like, oh, your truth is bad, my truth is, no, the truth is good. Yeah. The truth is universal. The truth is for everybody. No matter where you come from, what you look like, what you believe in, it brings everybody together. And that's the environment that I see on this street. Here in our business, on a busy day, you're gonna see everybody. It's not gonna be all black people, all white people. It's gonna be a mixture of everybody, all beliefs, all sexual orientations, all socioeconomic statuses, and everybody in between. And I think that that's what the future of this stretch should look like. And so we're trying to topple it. We're trying to topple a, you know, decades old mantra of hatred, of division, of separation, of racism. So.
Thanks for joining us on Croix Corner with
Chris Goode. Actually, Chris in Croix Corner this time.
We'll let him have it.
Episode 1. We're grateful to have you here. Super excited to see all that's in store for you. It's an honor to share space with you at Ruby Jeans here at 30th and Truth.
We out.